Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my first video for my makeup collection, and since I don't have an overhead tripod and I wanted to show you every single product that I have without just putting pictures in the video but just showing you close-ups of the products, that's the way that I decided to do it. That's why I changed the lens so that you can see the products up close and that they would look better and nicer. So the way that I'm going to do these videos is I'm going to tell you the amount that I have written down on a paper sheet that I wrote every single number of each category that I have. And I will divide these videos into categories. Sometimes I will mix two categories together and so on. But this is going to be the first one, and I'm going to create a playlist for this. So if you're interested in seeing my makeup collection, then I'm going to start with primers and foundation palettes. Foundation and concealer palette, because the foundations, I know they're gonna be a lot more, but foundation and concealer palettes and primers will be my first video. So if you want to know my primer collection and my foundation and concealer palettes, then just keep on watching. Okay, so for face primers, I have 20 that I can count here. I only have 2 duplicates of primers, and those are the hydrating primer by Mercier and the illuminating one. I gave away another illuminating one to a friend because I had 3 of them, and I decided to keep 2 because 2 of them, one hydrating, one illuminating, are going on my makeup artistry kit as soon as I finish the one that I have on my kit, which is the Mercier, the original foundation primer. So this is what I use on every single client. I'm still working on it. It came with a lot of product. I've used it on every single client since I received it in PR. It works for every skin type in a way. And then also what I was using on my makeup artistry kit was my Backlight priming filter and my First Light priming filter. And you guys know that I put this in a project pan recently to finish them off because they're getting on the older side and I want to switch them up. And those 2 are gonna be replaced with the Mercier ones that I have as duplicates. The rest of the primers are from my personal collection. So I have 20 primers total. It's a mixture of hydrating, illuminating, blurring primers, and so on. So if you want to see my primer collection, and I still don't know if I'm going to do a voiceover, maybe I will just put some music and show you the products, or maybe I will just do a voiceover and give you little reviews. So let's just start showing you the primers that I have in my collection.
Okay, so I organized them by categories. These are the everyday primers. This Mercier was discontinued and is the one that I'm finishing on my makeup artistry kit. It works for everyone. Same with the protecting one. This one I love when I want some extra SPF. And the perfecting one, same line from Mercier. It's really nice for normal skin types. So when I have my skin feeling the best or just normal, I will use this one. These are now the blurring or pore filling primers. These are my favorite category. The blurring one from Mercier has replaced every single one that I used to love. Now I have here the e.l.f. Portless Putty Primer. This was a gift and I've been trying it out because I'm comparing it with the Tatcha one that I finished last year that I adored. And then I also have the Colorbeats primer, which it looks pretty similar to the Tarte Smoothing primer. I don't know the name, but I know that it looks a lot like it when I watch reviews of that one, and it's the one that I want. And then the Porefessional, you guys know it's a holy grail. I've been finishing this for years. It was my favorite and first high-end primer, but recently it has been replaced by the Mercier blurring primer. And then the Pure Canvas Power Primer. This is sort of a serum and it fills out pores and it's better for mature skin types. For mattifying primers, I have 2 that I've tried and 1 that I haven't. This Porefessional Matte Rescue is about to be done. I have only a little bit left and it's pretty nice. On the other hand, the Makeup Forever matte primer, I just don't like it. It's too drying on me. It's too hard to work with, so I wouldn't recommend it. Now for the illuminating primers, I have here first this beautiful one. This is the Mercier Illuminating. It's so pretty and so subtle. And then I have the Dior Maximizer, which I need to put in a project pan because it's one of my oldest primers in my collection. It still smells fine, but it's pretty old. This is way more illuminating than the Mercier one, and I think it was discontinued. And another illuminating one that I adore and that I would repurchase if I didn't have the Mercier one is the Backlight priming filter that I'm about to run out because I put it in a project pan and it was on my makeup artistry kit. Now for the hydrating category, I have one that's the Laura Mercier one, and it feels pretty light, but it hydrates the skin. And then another one that I just have a mini size of, but I finished the full size this year on a project pan, is the First Light Priming Filter by Becca. This is wonderful. It's refreshing on the skin, and it's pretty light as well, and I used it on my makeup artistry kit. And then these three I haven't used yet, so I don't have any reviews to give you. This is the Porefessional hydrating one, and I just got the sample recently. Then I have here the BOSCIA No Pores No Shine treatment. It's supposed to be a primer for oily skin. The cap broke when I bought it, so I haven't used it. And then the Laura Geller Sparkle Tinted Matte Top or Makeup Primer. I don't remember the name exactly, but these I haven't used either.
Okay, so now for concealer, corrector, and foundation palettes, I have a few. I have 8 foundation and corrector palettes, one that I created with other products that I had, and then I have one that's a Supra Color foundation palette, which is basically a colorful cream type of palette that I use on my kit. These all are meant to be used on my kit. I never use them on myself, but I'm planning on putting them in maybe a project pan to try and finish a few of the shades because they're getting older, and if not, I will have to throw them out.
Okay, so the Set one is the one that I use the most because it's a combination of every single product that I love that's a cream product. I still prefer liquids, and I wouldn't buy creams anymore. I have 2 BZR concealer palettes. I just don't like them. They're too dry and they're just not my favorite. And now it's too late for me to just give them up because they're pretty old. I need to use them more. The BBU palette, on the other hand, the Bobbi Brown one, it's amazing. I would highly recommend. I have every shade of concealer and corrector here, and I'm planning on using that up, and I've used a lot of foundation shades. Same with the RCMA foundations. I'm planning on using them more this year because I love them. It's just that they take a little bit of work to apply on the skin. They take a learning curve to them. So I have the BK10 and the BK11, and they're wonderful. And since I have the mixer from Kryolan, I can mix them and make them work perfectly. This is the Kryolan Dermacolor, and it's wonderful. It's just that all the shades that I was gonna use up, I have them on my Boosted palette. And then this is the Supra Color, the Ultra Foundation palette, and it's pretty nice. I just never reach for cream foundations because they're too creamy for this weather. And then this colorful one, it's pretty nice one. I just don't tend to do that much Halloween, and that's the reason why I wouldn't repurchase this type of product.
Okay, you guys, so that's it for my primer, corrector, or concealer palettes that I have in my collection. And I will leave everything linked below. If I can, if everything fits, I will leave everything linked below. And that's it, you guys. For an emoji today, since it's for my makeup collection, let's just leave not an emoji, but your favorite primer, or if you have a face palette that comes with correctors and foundations, your favorite base palette of all time. So leave that in the comments below, because that way I can get to know your collection and I can get to know what you like and what you like to see on this channel. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be having one of those videos every day unless I have a project pan finale for the Everyday December series. And I hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.